Welcome, welcome to those of you guys on YouTube as well. Miss Sarah, you are first. Thank you guys to all the new followers, all the new subscribers. I will be live again tomorrow night if you guys would like to get a ticket for any of my readings that are coming up. That's a lot of shit there, Sarah. That was a lot. I have several of them already up on my link tree, which is on both my TikTok and my YouTube profiles. If you guys subscribe to my link tree, it doesn't cost you anything. You'll get dibs on tickets, so you can kind of beat it. Okay. Make sure you follow me on YouTube as well. All right, Miss Sarah, ready? Let me turn this down like that. I love you right back. Okay. We're going to leave this one upside down for just a minute, okay? So what's interesting is there's a lot of really intense, deep energy, I'm going to say around you and down in your core right now. The very first card here is potential. So with this being 2-2 and with us talking about harmony and balance readings, where things need to be harmonious in your life, this potential that's rolling around inside of you, I mean, this is literally a volcano. This potential that's rolling around inside of you is ready to be unlocked, but there's a couple of things that have to happen first, okay? Apparently the loudest helicopter ever has to go over my house. That's not been a thing since the summer, so I'm kind of interested in that. All right. This potential depends on two things, okay? The first one is a deep inner truth. When we hold a lot of potential in us, a lot of times it's not anybody else that is holding us back except ourselves. And Sarah, I have a feeling that that's what's going on with you right now because of these two things. We'll talk about this card in a second. I'm not going to say, oh, you need to do shadow work or whatever because of this. You've done the shadow work. You've done the things that you need to do. You have really paid hardcore attention to. It's hard to explain until you guys really delve deep into shadow work. But Sarah, I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you delve really deep into shadow work, into some of the things that hold us back on our spiritual path, the depth of our own self surprises us. We're not taught as a Western society how to concentrate. We're not taught how to meditate. We're not taught how to calm our mind. We're not taught any of that. We're told to all the time, but we're not taught how to do it. So when we really start on our path and we start getting very mindful of ourselves and mindful of our own soul, we start to learn a lot of truths about ourselves. I have a feeling that, there's been a couple that have been popping up, and there's a couple more that will pop up over this weekend. The other card here is simplicity. I would not be surprised to know if you have been ready to purge shit out of your closet, out of your house, out of your office, whatever it is. A lot of people have been feeling this way, especially a lot of people that have a very intense potential going on right now. You feel the need to just get rid of shit. We all have shit. You know what I'm talking about. Just piles of cluttery shit. They pile up. We don't realize they've piled up. And then suddenly when we hit this phase of crazy intense potential, we look around and we go, what the fuck do I have all of this shit for? But simplicity is not just physical things. Simplicity also has to deal with our energy, where it's going, why it's going there, and what we're going to do with it. I know it's going to yawn again. Here's what I would recommend for this weekend. I saw that you said you're going to stay home and clean. Good for you. Good for you. Here's what I'm going to say about this weekend. This is a weekend of unlocking some amazing potential. Like, I can't wait to see what this card is that's been kind of holding you back energetically. Not only would I recommend, why am I yawning so much? The very first read of the night, I'm always like yawning like crazy. I don't get it. It is what it is. I would recommend really taking stock of your time during the day. With this potential, you need to make time for that potential to be unlocked a little bit every day. Whether it is first thing in the morning, whether it's last thing at night before you go to bed, sometime during the day, whatever it is. That potential is there and it has to have an opening. Be really, really careful what you say this weekend, especially with this words, especially with this potential card. Be really, really careful what comes out of your face. It needs to be as positive as possible. Or if you're like, I don't have the room for that, put in yet, okay? Nobody told me I had a weird little thing right there. Thanks a lot, guys. I don't have a boat yet. I don't have a new car yet. Do you see what I'm saying? Throw a yet in there really quickly if you catch yourself saying something like that. What you do and what you put your energy into this weekend is going to matter more than you know. So I love that you've already been like, nope, I'm cleaning. Nobody's coming over. I don't need that bullshit. I'm dying to see this card, so we're going to go ahead and this is the Nyx card, and this is secrets. So one of the things that has been holding you back is secrets. Some of those are things you're keeping from yourself, but I have a feeling seeing this right here. This is a situation that revolves around a couple of people in your life that you know that they have not been being super upfront with you on some stuff. And I would no longer give them the chance to hide shit from you. Either they can come clean or they cannot be in your path, period. Like, period. This is not the weekend to mince words, to mess around with shit. Take this weekend for you. Know that there are some deep internal truths that are going to pop up while you're cleaning this weekend, working this weekend, meditating this weekend, and simplify, 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 simplify. Like I said, this includes emotional things, not just physical, okay? That potential, though, there could not be a better card to start this with for harmony and balance. That potential. Most people don't realize that potential is the vast majority of everything. You can have all of the physical things and the skill and the knowledge to do something, but if you don't have the potential and the drive and the want to be that or want to be better, then it doesn't matter. You can have every single fucking thing that you need, but if you don't have that potential and that drive, I would not be surprised to, good, I'm so glad. I would not be surprised to know that here lately you feel a little more yourself. You feel a little more powerful. You feel a little taller. You've been holding yourself differently. That is this potential. So grab a hold of that and harness it. But like I said, with this secrets here, If you have people in your life that are doing this bullshit and you know they're doing it, they don't need to be in your energy. They don't need access to you. They don't need access to your space. Nope. They can move on down the road and go keep secrets from somebody else. Okay? You're going to have to be hardcore with them. All right? I'm glad that this makes sense. I'm glad it resonates, and I'm glad that it's confirmation on what you needed to hear. I think you already knew. All right, Miss Samantha Perez, you are next. I will say this as I start going forward a little bit. I know I already have a ton of beads on, but I'm going to put these back on because they're going to fall on the floor. It is what it is. I will say this, Sarah. I could not think of a better read to start with, because starting off with that potential, the problem with a lot of potential is this: there are always going to be people that want to siphon that off. Whether they just want to siphon your personal power, whether they want to siphon your skill, your potential, or whether they just want to suck every bit of energy out of you. So be really careful, Sarah, about who is allowed in your space and who is allowed on your path. Not just those keeping secrets from you. Be really careful. Ask questions. You want to know why they need so much access to your energy beyond the norm, because now that I've pointed it out, you're going to see that there is at least one person, if not two or three in your path, that they just want extra access to your energy, and there's no fucking reason for them to have it. So be really careful about who you share space with. Okay? Miss Samantha P. That's exactly. If you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. Hey, Sam. Good evening, Corey. How are you? Thank you so much for the flowers. All right. We're going to leave that upside down. It's interesting. There's lots of greens and yellows here. Thank you, love. All right. You start off with going forward. This has to harmonize with this to harmonize with this. Yours is a little different, okay? Your path going forward has to harmonize with how you see the wonders around you. I'm going to go into this a little deeper here in just a minute, which also has to harmonize with purification, purifying some bullshit. Your path going forward right now is really intense as far as healing and as far as finding your intuition and finding your joy again. With all the colors in this card, the greens and the yellows, your path is not going to be the normal path forward that you've always had in the past. Okay? It's not going to be that, oh, gee, hey, I woke up and now I want to read about this and I want to learn about this and so on. You've hit a completely different side of the mountain now. You've gone up the normal things and now it's into the deeper, thicker, stronger, hardcore things. So your path is going to be a lot of boosting your own intuition, finding out things about you. A lot of times when we round that other side of the mountain, our intuition shifts, our intuition changes. You may think that some of your gifts have been shut off. They haven't. They've just changed how you access them. It's like you got a complete upgrade to all of the circuitry up here, okay? That's why it's so important for you to mesh your path with the wonders that you see around you. These can be physical things, they can be internal things, they can be emotional things. Pay really close attention to the things that make you stop and go, that's really cool. Wow, 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 wow. I can't tell you how many times on the last week, well, the last 2 weeks on my trip, I said, wow, repeatedly. Me and Sass both, wow, wow, wow. There are amazing, wonderful things all around us all the time. All the time. Y'all get to watch me eat some peanuts too. And we don't see them because we see them as, oh, well, that's always been there. Yeah, I see that flower every day. Yeah, I see that tree, that mountain, that car, that person, whatever that is. I see that every day. One thing that amazes me, I'm going to explain this and hopefully it helps, okay? When I was a kid and I was growing up, my bedroom window faced the Rocky Mountains. And it was on the second story. I had the most gorgeous view of the Rocky Mountains. Like, that was my view every morning. As a kid, I didn't really appreciate it. There's all those mountains. I see them every day. Driving to school, I see them every day. Going up on the weekends, just hanging out, I see mountains every day. No big deal. But as an adult, now that I don't have that, when I see them, I will be the dumbass that stops outside of Walmart to gawk at the mountains around Walmart. Such as in Colorado Springs and almost died on a peanut. The McDonald's in Sedona, sitting outside and just oohing and awing. Don't you hate that? I can feel it stuck right there. Oohing and awing at the things around it while people are just going by because they see it every day. Every single one of you has something amazing around you. Whether it's a beautiful tree in your front yard, your dog, mountains outside your window, wide open plains. Not my cup of tea, but they're still beautiful. Take time to really appreciate all of the wonders that are around you. That is going to be a big key to you moving forward and finding your inspiration and finding how to tap back into your gifts. Those wonders have to mesh with your path, but they also have to mesh with this, with purification. Purification doesn't just mean clearing your space, clearing yourself, whatever. Purification is a complete revamp of everything. Like I said, you've kind of moved up to a different level on the mountain. All of the things that used to work for you are not going to work for you anymore. It is like starting all over, but from a much more powerful position. Almost like if you were to reach, say, level 50 in a game, and every single thing got wiped out from you, but you still have all your skill points. Does that make sense? You lost all your armor, you lost all your weapons, you lost all your clothing, you lost all your stuff, but you still have your skill points. You're still a strong motherfucker because you're at level 50, not at level 1 anymore. Do you see what I'm saying? That's kind of where you're at. Purify all of that stuff that no longer works for you. Okay? So this is going to be very interesting as to what is holding you back. This card right here is El Shaddai, and this is kindness and being paternal and wisdom. The thing that's holding you back the most, that will hold you back in 2024, and when I say this, until I explain it, it's going to sound really bad, is kindness. I don't think that you need to be more kind. I think that you need to be cutting off certain people and situations from your kindness. They've been taking advantage of it for far too long. And for you to move forward on this path and for you to purify some things out of it, you're going to have to really take a look at who has been taking advantage of your kindness, who has been taking advantage of you, period, because they know you're going to do all these things for them still. The other thing I'm going to talk about here is the wisdom aspect of this card. When we start to round the other side of the mountain, and like I said, we're stripped of everything but like our skill points and how powerful we are, we realize that all of the wisdom we gained on the mountain up to now, even though it matters, we don't know shit. So you're going to have a lot of times, especially this weekend, when you're going to either come across a video, a book, an article, something, and you're going to go, I had no idea. I had no idea. I was this many days old when I learned blah, 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 blah. So let go of being on very firm, solid pillars with what you've learned. Does that make sense? You'll come back to those pillars, I promise. You'll come back to that foundation. But for right now, you can kind of float off a little bit. Okay? You can kind of float off a little bit. Does that make sense? You are so welcome, sugar. All right. Jennifer Schwab, you are next. I promise I won't. I will try not to choke on a peanut. Let me say that. All right, ready? Thank you so much for the galaxy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad I could help. All right, you ready? This might be the epitome of what this portal and these reads are about. You ready? Relaxation, happiness, inner peace. Thank you for the Gorgie Butt, Leanne. Literally, balance and harmony. Now, I know these are kind of self-explanatory, but we're going to talk about them a little bit. Because this one right here, this relaxation card, is extremely tough and almost impossible for so many people. It's not that we don't know how to relax, it's that we've forgotten what it feels like because we push ourselves way too hard. Go, 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 go. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. And we have done it for so damn long that we forgot how it feels to be off duty. We have forgotten how it feels to just relax and close our eyes and not stress about the world for a minute. So one of the hardest parts about this read, Jennifer, is that you're going to have to make yourself relax. You're going to have to make yourself relax, which sounds completely counterintuitive. Force yourself to relax. Like, it's not so much forcing yourself to relax as it is forcing yourself to let your brain shut down, to be just to be off for a little bit. That is going to help you find a lot more happiness in your space. Not that there's not happiness around right now, but we all get to a point where we're so fucking busy. Relaxation escapes. My Oklahoman was really about to come out, and I was going to pull a full-on Lurleen. That escapes. I apologize. I apologize. It's been coming out a lot lately. It must be time to do Lurleen reads again. But having that relaxation and actually making yourself take the time for relaxation is going to lead you to a lot more happiness. When we're go, 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 go all the time, it doesn't mean we're not happy. It just means that we don't allow ourselves the time to fully enjoy being happy. It happens way, way, way more than you think with every single person. So you are absolutely not alone in that. You're not the only one that's not allowing yourself to enjoy the full range of the happiness. What I love about it, though, is that relation, God damn it. We have big old storms moving in. So I'm going to pause for just a minute, Jennifer. We have big storms moving in here, or a lot of rain for tomorrow. If you guys have never watched me, I have epilepsy, and the barometric pressure changes fucks with me a little bit. It also fucks with my words, which is stupid. And it fucks with my memory bank. And it also fucks with my word bank, so that sometimes I'm like trying to think of like what this is called. I know it's a card. I can see that it's a card it's on the tip of my tongue, but sometimes I cannot get the word card out. So I'm like, the thing with the stuff and the things on it, the square thing. I talk about it because I get hemiplegic migraines, which are the ones that kind of mimic a stroke in a little bit. Mimic a stroke. I talk about it because I know a lot of you guys suffer from migraines. I know a lot of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about with the hemiplegic migraines, with the barometric pressure changes, with all of those things. So I want, first of all, for you guys to know that you're not alone. You're dealing with it just like I deal with it. I'm dealing with it just like you deal with it. And I mean, just laugh and go on. I'll always make a joke about it because, I mean, what the fuck else am I going to do? Like, humor is a trauma response. So whenever I say my words don't work or I'm having issues with words being stupid, just know it's going to be a thing this evening. I'm fine. I'm okay. I promise. I've dealt with this since I was 19. So almost 30 years. That makes me sound so motherfucking old. Almost 30 years. Blech. Since I was 19. So we'll just laugh and go on. Just laugh and go on. Now, right back to Miss Jennifer. The relaxation is going to help you see and feel more happiness, which is literally the path to your personal inner peace. It tells me that you've got way too much stress, that you've got way too many things piled on your shoulders, and that you're having a hard time not just calming down, but calming the brain down. A lot of times when we can't calm the brain down, we can't calm down. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. You go to lay down, you're like, oh, I'm so sleepy. And as soon as you close your eyes, your brain starts singing the fucking Mana Mana song. It sings Jesse's Girl. It sings Thriller. And it sings 50 other fucking songs. You have no idea what they actually are, but they all work fantastically together. And the next thing you know, you're just laying in bed, jamming away to some fantastic musical in your head all fucking night. And then you wonder why you aren't relaxed. When we have to relax, when we make ourselves relax, it allows our brain to calm down. You've just got too much on your shoulders, too much on your mind. And I know sometimes that it's really, really hard to do that. It's impossible, especially as a parent, as an adult, any of that. But all of this leads to your own personal inner peace. So let's look at this. You can't make this shit up. This is the Nyx card again, which is secrets. I think that it's funny that I was just having a hot flash now. I was freezing a while ago. Now I'm having a fucking hot flash. Secrets are a thing. I think it's interesting. We were just talking about all of the shit that's laying on your shoulders right now, and the stress and everything that is keeping you kind of, well, it's keeping you from being able to relax. A lot of that has to do with these fucking secrets right here. Just so you know. Whether it's secrets that you're holding on to that you don't want anybody else to know, or secrets that other people are keeping from you and you already know. Secrets are not something that needs to be around you right now. Okay? Does that make sense, love? Good. I'm glad. I hate that any of you guys are having to deal with people that keep secrets. I mean, we all do. No one single person in our life, including us, are ever 100% honest with everybody else around them. We may have one or two people that we're honest with, but very rarely is there even one person that we are completely 100% honest with. We're taught to be almost ashamed of our inner self, of who we actually are. I mean, think about it. As a kid, when you were being weird, when you were laughing and joking and stuff like that, how many times were you told to calm down, or, you know, that's not funny, we don't joke about that, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Every single one of us were told that. Every one of us. So, yeah. All right, Mr. Sean Riston. I don't even know if you're here. Are you here, Doc? All right. No, there he is. Okay, that's funny. You can't make this shit up. You ready? You start off with inner peace. Then you have embracing. And then you have openness. Some very interesting things to bring into balance. So this is going to be, when this comes out of my face, some of you guys are going to be a little bit in disbelief, and then some of you are, it's going to have that epiphany moment. You ready? You can have inner peace and be out of touch with things around you. You can have inner peace and be, I'm going to say, disconnected from everything. You can have inner peace and not be peaceful. Does that make sense? You can have inner peace and not be peaceful. You've achieved a point in your life, Doc, where you have inner peace. When you lay down at night, you have a sense of inner peace. When you wake up in the morning, when you're tooling around the house, when you're creating the amazing things that you create, you have inner peace. You know where that lies and what it feels like. I'm going to tell you guys another little secret real quick, okay? We're going to like pause Doc's reading too for just a second. I'm going to tell you guys another little secret. You ready? We all know exactly what our own inner peace feels like. We all have felt our own inner peace at least a couple of times in our life. It's way easier to find than you realize it is. The problem is that we don't know how to integrate our own personal inner peace with our actual life because we've never been taught how to do that here in the West. So, Doc, you've found your happy place. You know where that inner peace lies. So here's the part that you need to bring into balance. And that is embracing that inner peace, embracing that path, embracing. Here's what's funny. I'm going to say embracing fully who you are. And I know that your very first thought when I said that was, well, I have embraced who I am. But I want you to really think about that this weekend, because as you look at your inner peace and as you look at yourself and this next card that we're going to talk about, you're going to find that there's some aspects of you that you haven't fully embraced yet. Whether it's because you're worried about people thinking that you're crazy or whatever. I mean, welcome to the club. Like, I just don't give a shit anymore. I'm just going to full on Captain Jack Mad Hatter it at this point in life. The things that resonate with you and the things that drive your inner peace are exactly the things you need to resonate with, that you need to embrace. You need to resonate with fucking words. Because all of this balance is going to bring an amazing openness into complete harmony for you. Here's the problem with openness. Openness is fantastic and terrible at the same time. It's fantastic because it allows you to say and do the things that you need to say and do. It's terrible because there is always going to be someone that thinks you're fucking crazy. There's always going to be someone that, thank you for subscribing, Tom. There's always going to be someone that looks at you weird. There's always going to be someone that wants to discriminate against you for how you believe, how you look, whatever. There's always going to be that douchebag. There's always going to be that douchebag. There's always going to be people around you that you have to worry about because they are going to say, oh, well, you're crazy, you shouldn't be a parent, or you're crazy and you shouldn't be working in this job or that job or whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. Being really open, embracing all of those aspects of you that you haven't really let out into the open yet is going to boost this inner peace to a level that I don't think you've ever achieved. Okay? Does that make sense? Well, this is an interesting one. So this is the Poet of Avalon, and what's on the bottom of here is fame and stagnation and pride. I don't think that pride in any way has anything to do with it, just because I've read for you a lot. I speak to you a lot. I know you. I have a feeling that the thing that needs to be let go of here is stagnation. We can hold on to stagnation because we're comfortable with it. This is why people stay in marriages that are just emotionless. It's comfortable. You know that both of you guys are going to pay the bills like you're supposed to, that both of you guys are going to do all the things. The kids are going to be taken care of, you know, and so you just coast along, even though you don't even talk to each other. Everyone, including the two of you, know that the marriage is no longer working, but it's comfortable. So you just stay stagnant. I use that as an example because most people can relate to that with a relationship or anything. Stagnation is something you can let go of. It is absolutely something you can let go of. Most people don't realize that. They think that they're stuck in it like fucking quicksand. But the thing is, that's not it at all. That is not it at all in any way, shape, or form. We can let go of stagnation and drop peanuts in the floor. Does that make sense, Doc? Oh my God, thank you for the jellyfish, Dwight. Okay. Keep in mind, and this is for all of you, everything is energy. Everything. Okay. Did that make sense, Doc? I know that when you get reads from me, it's because you're looking for a specific answer for something. Good night, Banksy. You are so welcome, sweetheart. I know that I love getting drive-by Jesus. The stagnation, letting go means yes, exactly. I know that when you get readings from me, it's because you're looking for an answer to something. I hope that was your answer. And I hope, if not, that whatever it was that when you get a reading from somebody, because I was about to say whatever it was I said resonates, and that made no sense until I say this. When you get a reading from somebody, the reason that I like recording it, whether it's live here on YouTube and you can go watch it later, or I send it to you or whatever, is because we can't ever fully listen to the entire reading when it's being done. Our brain is always going to pick out little, okay, this, and then this, and then this, and then this. So we can go back and listen to it again, and we're going to hear something completely different than we heard the first time. And we're going to go, holy shit, how did I miss that right there? How did I miss that right there? That's why I like having these recorded. So I would recommend going back and watching it on Sunday, Doc. Okay? Something is going to hit differently. Okay? Listening again really did click. Good. Good. Yeah, it's because our brain gets caught up on one aspect, like the openness, and we forget all about, you know, everything else. Or it gets caught up on that inner peace card, and we forget about, you know, the embracing. Do you see what I'm saying? So I would sit with it and then go back and watch it again on Sunday. Okay? You always listen another time or two? Good. I'm glad. I see you. Miss Kathy Mazel. You got to be difficult with your card there. Yeah, especially after the energy of this weekend. Like, I was going to go do some stuff tomorrow, but I'm not. Plus, there's a 90% chance of rain, so I'm just going to stay home. All right, Miss Kathy. If you guys didn't make my reading, my list tonight, I'm not going to turn that one over yet. I have several more up on my link tree already. I have not been putting a cap on them. So if you guys want to grab one, like my list tonight, filled up throughout the day today. So go grab one quick. Tomorrow I will be working on my schedule for the rest of the month. So that way you guys know, that way you guys know when and where to grab what you want. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, Miss Kathy. Interesting. I'm just going to apparently continue to throw peanuts in the floor. Here's why I said interesting. You have standstill, blessings, and then stillness. That's why I said interesting. Notice the birds. All three of these cards have a bird on them. Wings mean movement. Even though all of these birds are still. You start off with standstill. That's the energy right now. What you need to kind of harmonize with. I know that you've listened to me long enough. So let me address something here because I've seen a couple of comments like this going on. I am not the only reader here on TikTok and YouTube. I am not the only professional reader on TikTok, YouTube, any social media. I do this for a living. As in, this is my job. I don't go to an office. I don't have a 9-to-5 job. This is what I do. I have been doing it for a long time. There are a lot of utterly fantastic readers on every social media platform that do the same things that I do, different things, not the same things, etc. That is their job. They do this full time too. There are people all over the world that do this as a profession. For someone to come in and ask either for a free reading or to get pissy when that reader will not read for free, or when that reader I can't with the scammers. Or when that reader says, yes, not you, Dwight, okay? It was a different comment. When that reader or their mods say, yes, these are paid reads, that's like calling a plumber after you have broken your toilet and telling the plumber to come over and fix it, but you're not going to pay him. You just need him to come over because it's a skill he learned and he should be doing it for free for everybody. It's like going to the doctor when you have the flu and telling the doctor that, I'm not going to pay you for the office visit or the medication because, you went to school for this and it's a talent, it's a skill. So, you should be doing it for free. It's rude. It's really rude. It's just like coming in and spamming a question. Read the room, see what's up, go from there. If the person is answering free questions, awesome. Awesome. If they're giving free readings, you better fucking get one. But remember that you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. Whenever I first started out doing readings, not just for family and friends, I started off working for a massive site called Purple Ocean. And I was reading for 30 something people a day. Like that. I had to read for the executives, and I had to be accepted onto that site. I am not the only reader that has a really interesting background or a pedigree, basically. I actually come from a line of astrologers. Just because it's a talent, just because it's a skill, and just because it's something that I do mainly on social media, in no way should negate how you treat me or how you treat any other person providing a service on here. It's bullshit. It's rude. And even if I were to read for you, you wouldn't want me to read for you. See what I'm saying? All right, Miss Kathy. Ready? Let me start over now. People are really hateful toward anybody making money on the internet, which, to be honest, if you are not on the internet, if you are not on social media, you are losing business. You're losing business. Almost everybody is on one form of social media or another. Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever the hell Twitter has turned into. Everybody is on something. It has been for a long time. Miss Kathy, I know that you have heard me talk about how being at a standstill is a good thing. And I know I just read for you the other night, and there was an interesting aspect. I can't remember exactly what it was, but there was an interesting aspect of paying attention and being still. When we hit a standstill, one of two things happens. First, usually we get irritated at the standstill and we get mad at everything around us. Why am I at a standstill? Is it because of this person, this situation, this? Like we start going through all these things in our head, like what made me come to a standstill? And the second thing is this, and this usually happens before we move out of that standstill, out of that stagnation, off that plateau, whatever. We start to see all of the amazing good things in our life and in our path. And we just kind of go, you know what? If I'm at a standstill, like if this is what we're doing now, cool. I'm going to be over here enjoying like time with my kids or writing this book or playing with my crystal. I'm just going to enjoy it. And about the time we start to enjoy all the fucking blessings, that's when things move forward again. But what you really have to balance out is these blessings and the stillness. That's what got you to the standstill. You either have the stillness and you don't pay attention to the blessings, or you see the blessings and you try to rock it forward and don't pay attention to the stillness. Those are the things that have to balance out. Seeing all the good around you and still having a stillness, a still time. It's not time to rock it forward this weekend. It's not time to rock it forward right now. It is time to take a look at all of the good things in your path and when and where Kathy has to be still. This is necessity and focus and transition. And I'm going to say that the thing here that has to be let go of is a constant transition. When we start on our spiritual path, we start to stress out and worry that we have to be in this constant movement, this constant shift and change and transition and blah, 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 blah. But when we do that and we're constantly in transition, we never get anything done. We just don't. We never get anything done. So don't stress about being in a constant transition, Kathy. Okay? Let go of that need for that. And I know that's hard, but you can do it. I promise. I have faith in you. Little birdies told me so. Oh, well, those are big birdies. A little birdie told me so. I think I'm funny. So somebody was asking for my list. Here is who else is left on my list. Nicole Rogers, Miss Tosh, Nathan Peters, Orlando, Miss Monique LaPlante, Sabrina Smith, Kim V, Renee Leonard, Miss Trina M, and let me refresh because I think I've got a couple more after that. Ooga booga. And then Kylie Peterson. That's who's on my list. All right. Thank you, Miss Brittany. Miss Nicole Rogers, you are next, love. If you fall asleep, no big deal. It will be on YouTube for you to watch tomorrow. You can watch me eat all the peanuts tomorrow. And for those of you guys that are in the beginner mentorship program, we will have class tomorrow at 11. And if you guys didn't know, I teach a beginner mentorship program. I do. Every single Saturday at 11 a.m. (11 Central). Wow. All right, Miss Nicole. You ready? You have change, miracles, and love. So here's what you get to harmonize and balance out, and that is change. Whereas Kathy was at a standstill and needs to be standstill, you have to shift and change and pivot in how you look at relationships, and how you look at love, and how you look at friendship. This tells me that you've had a lot of people hurt you, that you've had a lot of people trample all over all of your feels. It tells me that you probably also wear your feelings on your sleeve, even if you try really hard not to. Literally by embracing this change and allowing change and movement to be coming in, changing your home at the moment. Good, good. When you allow this change to be moved, shifted, I can't think of the right words. Like in my mind, I see somebody playing with silly putty. You know what I mean? Like molding it into something, and then molding it into something else, and then molding it into something else. Gotcha. Okay. When you have this change happen and you embrace it, that's when these things pop in. These are all kinds of unique, interesting miracles. Now, I'm not saying, especially with this love card, like, oh my God, you're going to find a tall, dark, handsome stranger on the next corner. No. Miracles come in the form of loving ourselves, of being a better friend, being a better daughter, son, brother, sister, sibling, which is brother, sister. You know what I'm saying? Being a better parent, being a better friend, being a better coworker. When we embrace this change, especially in relationships, one of the miracles that happens is we start to see our own shortcomings in things. Like I know that I'm a workaholic. I do. And I know that sometimes I ghost myself. Like I don't need any help. I will happily ghost myself because I'm always working. So I know that I am the one. I have to no tolerance this evening. Not gonna do it. You can fuck right off, sir. I know that I am the one that I have to work at reaching out to people. I do. Woo, that scared the shit fuck out of me. Fuck. Scared the shit out of me. I know that I have to work at reaching out to people because I get busy and I forget. But those miracles also come whenever we realize, all right, you know what? I know that I have a shortcoming. I know that, yeah, I ghost myself. I know that that is a shortcoming I have. Would I like to say it's not? Yes, but I'm realistic and I know, yeah. With yours and going through leaving a spouse, that change, it's really freeing at first. And then you start to miss the comfortable things. You start to miss weird random shit. So you have to harmonize with that change. You have to have that change in balance, because if you don't, if you're not embracing the change, you're going to get sucked right back into that same old comfortable shit. You may not go right back to your spouse. You may end up with somebody exactly like your spouse. Maybe just a little better job, thinner, heavier, better butt, no butt, whatever. So be really careful with that. Balance out your own love, your own relationships, and how you respond to relationships. Okay? Start balancing that. I'm going to say this. If more people balanced out their own heart, their own love, and their own ability to change, the world would not only be a better place, but divorces would not be so messy. Just saying. Just saying. So, I'm sorry that you're going through all of that. I'm sorry you're going through all of that. It's always hard to leave a spouse. It's always hard to leave a spouse. Embrace the change. Balance it out. I can't wait to see this card. This is the matriarch, and the very first one on here is rejection, opportunities, and consequences. I don't think that you need to come to terms with rejection. I don't think that you need to come to terms with opportunities. I think that the things that have to be kind of removed from your path are consequences. And And I know when I said that, everybody was like, you can't remove consequences. You kind of can, though. You kind of can. Especially when it comes with leaving, with the divorce, etc. And here's what I'm going to say. Hold your yourself to a much higher standard, especially when it comes to speaking about the other person to anybody. It's hard. It fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. Especially when you know they're bad-mouthing everything about you. Thank you, Miss Christine. Hold yourself to a higher standard. It may take a little while, but you will always, always come out victorious, and you will always erase those consequences, if that makes sense. Those of you guys that have been through a nasty divorce, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're on the right path. You're completely on the right path. I always hate it when I see people say, oh, you should try to work it out. You should try to work it out. I'm not saying you shouldn't exhaust every avenue first, but we know when we are done. We know when we get to a point that we're like, you know, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. My physical health, my mental health, my emotional health, my spiritual health, my kids, all of those things for my kids, for my spouse. At one point, you did love this person. You want them to be happy and healthy too, probably just, you know, somewhere else. We know when we're done. You know, we know when we're done. Gotcha. We know when we're done. So I have seen people beg and plead, their friends or siblings, whatever. Oh, just stay. They're a really good person. Just stay, whatever. You don't know what's going on in that marriage. You don't know what's going on in that house. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Just saying what I'm saying. I hope this makes sense. I hope this makes sense. I'm sorry you're going through this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's a shitty thing. So yeah. Good night, Miss Sylvie. Good. Oh, Miss Tosh. Oh, goodness, Nicole. That's a lot on a plate. That's a lot. Thank you for the roses, love. Thank you, Miss Brittany. Hey, Victoria. How are you? Hey, Jules. All right. I'm going to get my butt in gear and get these done. But I'm going to continue to eat these so my sugar doesn't keep crashing. All right. Ready, Tosh? Hey, Norma. I'm wonderful. How are you? This is where I say you can't make this shit up. Again. Ready? Every time I draw this card, you comment on it. Every single time I have ever drawn this card, you comment on it. Or the other card in my Ascendant deck that has the dolphins, that is play, you comment on it. So over the fact that this right here came up first, you can't make this shit up. Then you have, so this is happiness. Then you have enlightenment and thriving. And I meant to message you yesterday and didn't because I got busy, but I don't know what I was doing on my phone. And somehow I ended up at the bottom of my text messages. I think I was clearing out some, you know, when you have to get like the code from Cash App or PayPal or TikTok or whatever to prove that it's you, you know, all that shit. I think that I was doing that. But I got to the very bottom of my text messages. And you know who was the very last. This is the very last one. And I can't delete them. Like I just can't delete them. But I was going back through and reading them. And there was something in there that was said about how that person, and I know you know exactly what I'm talking about, had never had someone like you in their life that stood by them the way you did. This was when I first met that person, okay? And it just made me think about the whole thing from there. And the first time I ever spoke to you on the phone and on text and things like that. So for that to have popped up yesterday, and then me to read this for you, and these are some pretty fantastic fucking cards. And what's funny is all of these things are things that need to just be brought into balance, that need to harmonize with each other. We can be happy and we can have a lot of enlightenment in our life and we can be thriving and not have the three of these things together. They can totally be like that. They're not harmonized. They're not where they need to be. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to move forward. It's okay to take a sidestep from where you thought you were going. It's okay to acknowledge that some of the enlightenment that we've gained in life, no matter how old we are, fucking sucks. Because the only way to gain that enlightenment is to have shitty fucking shit happen to us, is to lose people that we absolutely adore, is to have to walk away from a situation that we thought we would always be in. And sometimes when we're thriving, we don't want to tell anybody because we're worried that we're going to jinx it. We're worried what they're going to say about it. We're worried about haters. We're worried about all these other things. So we don't even want to admit to ourselves that we're doing really good. We don't want to admit that to ourselves. So even though these are just fantastic fucking cards, I knew that was coming. I was like, all right, let me take a deep breath and then do the yawning thing. Allowing ourselves to be happy and acknowledging the things that we have been enlightened on in our life and admitting that we're doing really good in one way or another, all of those things have to harmonize with themselves. And it's hard because each one of these things, we're told and it's plugged into our brain that we have to have these things. We have to be happy. We have to be doing good. We have to be successful. We have to be growing as a person and gaining enlightenment. And at the exact same time, As soon as we're told that, we're told not to talk about it. We're told keep going, keep going. Keep striving to be happier. Keep striving for more enlightenment. Keep striving to be more successful. So we don't ever take the time to allow these things right here to balance and harmonize and just to be what they need to be. So this is actually going to be really, really hard. It's going to be really hard. And I want to say this about the Enlightenment card right here. I personally believe that we all gain spouts of enlightenment as we go along our path. Little bitty, just we gain enlightenment every time something horrific happens in our life, whether it's losing somebody, losing a job, having to move across the country, whatever it is. Every time something big, something bad happens, we gain enlightenment. Bad can be as simple as, you know, I got light food poisoning and I was sick all day yesterday. That's not horrific, but it's bad. It can be as horrific as losing multiple people we love. You know what I mean? You are so funny, Doc. Enlightenment comes in small doses, and we get it all the time. Enlightenment for me is not what enlightenment for Tosh looks like. Enlightenment for Tosh is not what enlightenment for Leanne or Doc or anybody else looks like. Our enlightenment is our own. Nobody can really tell us this is this, those things will make you enlightened. Nobody can tell us that. Otherwise, we would all have the formula and we would all be enlightened. Enjoy the good things that are going on right now. Acknowledge that you're doing good in your path, in your life, and be thankful for that. And acknowledge the enlightenment that you've had and be thankful for that. And acknowledge the happiness and be thankful for that. Justice of the pandemonium. Justice, truth, and duty. So I want to say something, and it's not going to make sense to anybody but you. It's okay to be off duty now. Okay? I hope that made sense to you. It's okay to be off duty. I love you, my friend. I miss your face. Can you believe it's been a whole year since you came to visit? Over a year? Over a year? That just seems crazy. Just saying what I'm saying. You should totally come back. Did all that make sense, Tosh? Everybody needs Zeus snuggles. Nathan Peters, you are next, love. Good. I love you right back, sweetheart. Congratulations, Miss Kami. I'm very proud of you. I'm very, very proud of you. All right, let me do this real quick. All right. thing is killing me here. All right, Nathan, you ready? I have a weird itch on my eyebrow. Okay. You have security, openness, and embracing. I want you to notice a lot of the same colors there. This is going to be an interesting thing for you to harmonize and balance out. Sometimes our security, the thing that we need the most, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, whatever it is, the security that we need the most comes from being completely open. And I want you to notice that even though this is security and this is a cave with a fire in it, notice that it's open at the top. The security that we need the most comes from being open. The world is a really hard, hateful place way too much of the time. And we get to the point where we just shut every single aspect of the box. No one needs to see in the box. We're not sharing the box. No one even knows where the box is. We have several decoy boxes. So we don't ever want anything to be out and open where other people can see what's going on. But when that happens, we actually lose security. Yeah, we're keeping our deepest, darkest self and sometimes all of ourself locked up under lock and key. And you think that that is security right there, but it's not. When we lock so much of ourself down, it's easy to lose that, to take that away, to have it stolen, whatever. If you guys have never, I'm going to use an older movie as an example here. There's a movie a long time ago with Sandra Bullock called The Net. If y'all have never seen it, it is completely worth the watch, because when that movie came out, it felt far-fetched, right? That somebody could live their entire life online, that nobody would really ever see them or know, what they looked like or whatever. But now it is so relevant that it's even more scary now than it was then. Because in the movie, everything is at home. She's agoraphobic, and every single thing is done at home, online. This was when online first started to be a thing, okay? So it was a little far-fetched, but now everything is online. I, in 2021, went for 3 fucking months without leaving my house, except like to go pick up my kid or to take my trash out. And in the summer, I didn't leave at all. You can live totally online. You can live totally online. But the problem is, even though we think that is secure, like we're in our own house, in our own space, no one can get to us, it's so much easier for people to steal our stuff, to break in, to get things, because we feel like we've got that box locked down. Nobody can get into the box. However, when you're open and you're out and people see who you are and they know when you're going to be there and so on, if something happens to you, they recognize it. Like, I haven't seen so-and-so in a while. Maybe we should check. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes security is in openness. So I know that you've been trying really hard to keep everything locked up and protected, but you're going to have to be more open. Sorry. 2 pretzels. Here's the thing about becoming open, though. You have to fully embrace it. You have to fully embrace it. And you're going to have people that are not ready for it. They are not ready for it. They are not ready for what we keep locked up in our heads, our hearts, etc. Embracing that openness is going to be hard for you. But here's what's funny. I think you're already starting to do it a little bit. In fact, I bet you're already starting to do it a little bit. I'm just curious, Nathan, whenever I said that you're going to have to be more open to be secure, were you ready to throw the phone? Were you? I'm just curious. The exile. Strategy and trauma and failure. Yes, you were. I kind of figured so. The thing you're going to have to let go on this card, I know you would think would be failure or trauma, but it's actually strategy. The strategy that you've had, the strategy of all the walls and all the doors and all the locks and all the protections, the strategy of locking things in. I'm having the weirdest deja vu moment right now. Like, I know I had a dream about this not that long ago. The more walls that you put up and you put around, the less secure you're going to be. I'm just going to say this. If you were to build a house out in the plains of Kansas or Texas or Oklahoma, if y'all have never been in those areas, you can see for fucking ever. You can see forever. Like, if a rabbit moves 5 miles away, you're going to see it. If you continue to build walls around that, you aren't seeing that rabbit. Not only are you not seeing the rabbit, you're not seeing someone walking right up to the wall. Do you see? You understand what I'm saying? The house is open. It's open around the house. And it's secure because you can see anything coming at you. The more walls you put around the house, the less you can see and the less secure you become. So you're going to have to embrace that strategy. Embrace the openness, and let go of that strategy of putting all the walls up. I hope that made sense. And then I'm curious if you've been locking things down lately. If you've been putting the walls up, I'm curious if you've been, hardcore circling the wagons. You have with your time. So did this make sense? Good night, human. I hope you sleep well, hon. Good, I'm glad. I didn't want to finish anything up until I saw your response. Hopefully I'm getting enough pretzels in me that it won't give me the crashy again. God damn it. Like, what the hell at this point? All right, Orlando, you ready? I'm just going to drop half my cards. Good night, Miss Norma. I know, right, Brandon? It's ridiculous. Look, I've been sitting here eating pretzels. There's no way that it's still low. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is. It is what it is. Really? Okay. That took a hot minute for that to draw. Okay, again, you can't make this shit up. This is the change card. Then you have abundance, and then you have truth. And like I said, we'll leave this one upside down. I know that you're in a spot in your life where you're pretty stable, where you feel like, whoa, not. I was turning that down because I was getting too hot, and I was actually like turning it up. I looked down and it was on 78. I was like, no, I'm going to melt. No. I know that you're at a spot in your life where things are solid. Things are calm. Things are... That scared me. I didn't realize I still had that going. I don't want to say stagnant because I don't think they're stagnant. They're good. They're just good. It doesn't mean that change is not abundant. Even just shifting is change. And shifting can be anything from shifting into a different job at work, a different role, shifting into a new relationship, shifting friendships, shifting houses, shifting cars. Because of the change card and then the abundance next, I would not be surprised if you have a ton of shifting and changing coming up over the next couple of months, 2 to 3 months especially. So you're going to have to try to kind of keep that in balance as much as you can. Sometimes we can't control the change that the universe has in store for us, but we can control a few things. Do what you can to kind of control that change, to kind of rein it in a little bit. Because if you don't, I hate when my sugar is wonky up and down because then I get really tired and really wide awake and really just fucking stupid. If you don't kind of rein that change in a little bit, it's going to get to the point where you are in constant change and constant shifting, and then it's going to frustrate you and throw you off. So embrace what change is going on now, but control what you can. For example, if you get offered a promotion at work, really think about it before you say yes. If you just happen Thank you, Sabrina. You just happen to find a car that you really, really love, and you're like, maybe I do need a new car. Really think about it. I cannot. Lando, why are you making my sugar crash? We're going to blame it on you, okay? I'm just letting you know. We're going to blame it on you. It's all your fault. I would say you're not sweet enough, but you know that was funny. You know that was funny. It's all Lando's fault. Y'all, in my last Reiki symposium, Lando was in there. Dude, this dude is so funny. I'm not kidding. You get him and Sass fucking going. Oh my God. Y'all are ridiculous. Y'all are just utterly ridiculous. Just saying what I'm saying. Just saying what I'm saying. I'm gonna get some candy in my face so that thing will quit going off and scaring the shit out of me. When it comes to controlling that change as much as you can, it helps you control your abundance. Okay? I can't with some people. It can help you control your abundance. I want you to keep this in mind. Everything you do, everything you are, is energy. Everything. I can't wait till you get what I'm sending you in your box. I can't wait. Seeing this tells me I picked out the perfect thing to send you. We can control our own abundance when we control the change that's around us. And when we learn that we can control the change and we learn that we can control the abundance, we also find out that there's a lot of truth to some of the frou-frou new age shit that people spout about manifestation and energy and positivity and negativity and so on. I know it gets really cool on TikTok and then it gets poo-pooed. And then it gets really cool and then it gets poo-pooed. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? There's a lot of truth that comes with the spiritual path. There's a lot of truth that comes with realizations. There's a lot of truth that comes with even realizing that we're at a good, abundant time in our life. So I want you to remember that every single thing is energy. Not that I think you're ever going to forget that, but sometimes in the heat of the moment, we do totally forget that. Be careful who you give your energy to, who you allow in your energy, who you allow in your space. Because this right here, this lone tree, that's a protective aspect, okay? I have a feeling also that you've had a whole lot of truths hit lately, that you've seen where there's a lot of abundance, and this change, you've started to see some of that rolling. Harmonizing all of these together is going to be hard. But once you start trying, I think they're all going to kind of just fall into place together. I don't think you're really going to have to do a crazy amount of work, just so you know. They're also closely related. It's only going to take like the one little string and they're all in line. Does that make sense? It's almost like pull in the string and they all just go boo, 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 and fall straight in line. Oh, bravery, self-discipline, and faith. This is the Leper King card. I can goddamn not. I can goddamn not. My sugar's going to shoot up in a little bit. I'm going to be pissed off. I'm going to be pissed off. I think that's an interesting card for you to get, especially on the end with all of these. Because why the hell would I tell you to knock off the bravery or the self-discipline or the faith in your path? But I am going to say this. Shift your self-discipline into focusing on these things right here. Into focusing on harnessing this change and controlling what you can. Into being thankful for your abundance and controlling that. And into looking at the truths around situations that you see, but maybe other people don't. Okay? I hope that made sense. Sometimes we get so stuck on, all right, this is what I'm putting my self-discipline in. This is where I'm going to place all my energy. When really it just needs to be shifted. It just needs to be over here. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Hey, Lulu. I don't know if Brody got you your invoice today or not. We were talking about it earlier, and he was trying to get all those out. How are you, sugar? Of course, Lando's got this. Lando's awesome. You are so welcome, honey. You are so, so welcome. I think I just saw the blue Bodhi come into my life. I must be the coolest of the cool. Oh, good. I'm glad you had a good day with your family. I'm glad. I know, right? I feel honored. Oh, you're welcome, Lando. I can't wait till you get what I'm sending you. When you do, I want you to go back and listen to that muddled up read with me shoving candy in my face because my thing kept going off. I'm just saying. All right, Miss Monique. All right, then. I don't know. Are you the bad witch? I couldn't help it. All right. So you start off with freedom, then you have forgiveness, and then you have purify. That's a lot of intensive emotions and energies right there. Just because, I mean, I watch the comments and I see, oh my God, just let me die at this point. It's not funny. I didn't mean it that way. I'm putting candy in my face, okay? Don't take that seriously. It was a joke. It was a joke, TikTok. I see a lot of your comments. I would love to say that I see everybody's comments, but sometimes TikTok doesn't show me shit. But I see enough to know that you're a very strong person. You're a very independent person. And you're very solid on your path. You give yourself an amazing amount of freedom to be who you are. And I think that's utterly fantastic. I'm so glad. I'm so glad, Dwight. I'm glad. When we give ourselves the freedom to be exactly who we are, there's a good and a bad with that. There's a good and a bad with everything. But with that freedom, obviously the good of it is we get to be who we're supposed to be. The bad of it is we can get so wrapped up in it that we kind of forget everything else. And it happens to everybody. We get so excited to be able to be who we are that we forget other things. I don't doubt that one bit, having a bunch of jealous people in your path. The forgiveness card is interesting because I don't really believe that there's anything you need to forgive you over. I have a feeling that this is for upcoming things with other people. It's for upcoming realizations, upcoming shadow work, upcoming just memories, you know, you looking back and going, oh my God, like I've been holding this grudge for 20 years or whatever. Thank you, Josh. Pay attention to the things that pop up in the next few days, especially. And look at things where maybe you have been holding a grudge, or you haven't, maybe you just haven't thought about it in so long and you didn't realize you were holding a grudge. Or you see somebody and you're like, oh shit, I've been hating this fucker for like 30 years. Maybe I was wrong, you know? We all have those epiphanies, but I have a feeling yours are going to pop up a lot in the upcoming days. The purity card is kind of interesting because we all come to a phase when we're climbing up the next side of the mountain. Oh my God. I hate it when I can't get the thing back in the thing. When we're climbing up the next phase of the mountain, and that we have to decide what we can actually carry along with us. What's too heavy? Because now you can't take the sled. You can't take the mule with you. It's too high. So you have to decide what you can and can't take with you. Purifying all of the things out of your bag, out of your space, out of your all your spaces, out of you, the things you just can't hold on to anymore. It has to do a lot with forgiveness and a lot with freedom. So harmonizing all three of these things together will probably get you more haters for your freedom. I've never understood why. Oh my God. All right. Let me just pause these for a minute.